The Voice in the Garden. A resurrection story. The cemetery on the edge of Bethany was a quiet place, even for a place of the dead. The wind often whispered through the olive trees, and at night, the stars leaned low as if watching over the stones. Among the graves was a small, worn marker. The name on it had long since faded, but the people of the village remembered Micah the baker. He had been a kind man, humble, generous, and faithful. His bread fed the poor, and his hands were always working, not just for himself, but for others. But buried not far from him was another man, known as Korah the judge. Wealthy, shrewd, and feared, he had used the law for profit, twisting truth into whatever shape served him best. Though powerful in life, he was buried without tears. Years passed. Then decades. Then centuries. The earth swallowed the memory of men. Stones crumbled, trees grew, and the names faded from the lips of the living. But the soil remembered. Then, one day it happened. Not with thunder, but with something deeper than sound. A voice, not of this world, rippled through the very bones of the earth. A voice with authority. The voice of Jesus. It reached into every grave, every hidden tomb, every forgotten resting place. And in the garden cemetery of Bethany, the ground stirred. Micah opened his eyes. There was no decay, no pain. His body was whole. Light danced on the wind, and joy like fire filled his chest. Around him, others were rising too, blinking into the light of a new dawn. There was no fear, only awe. He felt drawn toward the voice that had called him, like a child running home. But not everyone rose the same. Korah opened his eyes too, but the air around him was heavy. There was no joy in his chest, only dread. He remembered every lie, every bribe, every heart he had hardened. And though the same voice had called him forth, he did not feel drawn to it. He felt exposed before it, like a man standing before fire with nowhere to hide. All were called. Some rose into light, into the resurrection of life. Others rose into judgment, where truth could not be silenced and justice could not be bought. And Micah understood the words he had once heard in the synagogue, the words of his Savior Jesus Christ. Do not marvel at this, for the hour is coming in which all who are in the graves will hear his voice and come forth, those who have done good, to the resurrection of life, and those who have done evil, to the resurrection of condemnation.